Dave Portnoy is demanding that a WNBA referee be either fired or suspended after he issued a technical foul to Indiana Fever rookie Caitlin Clark for hitting a stanchion during a game on Sunday.
Okay, by now I'm sure you've seen Skylar Diggins assault Caitlin Clark after Indiana blew out Seattle. Now, was that jail? No. Would it be a fight in the NBA? Yes. What I don't get is the Seattle coach here is the one complaining after the game, and Skylar, tears in her eyes, being like, how dare Caitlin embarrass me?
Clark had just set a rookie record for assists in a 92-75 victory over the Seattle Storm, but the focus shifted to her confrontation with referee Tyler Ricks. I got a technical for being upset with myself for missing a three-pointer, Clark explained after scoring 23 points and providing 9 assists.
I got a technical for basically being mad at myself because I missed the three and then I went and hit the backboard, and he told me it was disrespectful to the game of basketball. So I don't know, it reminded me of the technical that I got in college where I said, damn it, where it's like a personal frustration. Had nothing to do with my team, had nothing to do with their reffing, had nothing to do with other team. It was just because I'm a competitor and I felt like I should have been making more shots. So
then I hit the backboard and he said it was disrespectful to basketball. Despite the incident, Clark humorously credited Ricks for motivating her to perform better in the second half.
But I think he fired me up to continue to play a lot harder. I thought we got a lot better after he did that. So I want to thank him for that. But overall, I thought once we got to that media timeout around 5 minutes in the third quarter, I thought we all kind of just took a breath. It was a little chaos there for 2.5 minutes, and I think I could have done a better job of kind of regaining my cool, but that's like the fire and passion that just gets me going. It's just finding a way to channel that and use that, and I thought I did a really good job of that at the end of the third and the fourth quarter.
Portnoy, a staunch supporter of Clark, who recently placed a $100,000 bet on the Fever to win the WNBA title, was not as forgiving. He took to X to express that Ricks should be suspended or fired. One of his followers even suggested that he cover any fines Clark might incur.
How dare they beat us by 30? Hey, ladies, grow up. They didn't take their starters out in time? What are you talking about? And here's what I love. You think Caitlin's going to back down because they're crying? Like, how can a rookie embarrass us? What do they keep beating us up like this? How is she so good? No, Caitlin doesn't back down at all. She's like, hey, zip it, Skylar. Shut up. Stop crying. She literally mouths, stop crying. I'm not sure if it's in this video. I fucking love it.
These refs are soft, echoed many of Portnoy's followers. Fortunately for the Fever, the technical foul did not affect their game, as they improved their record to 11-16 while the Storm dropped to 17-10. Portnoy is particularly enthusiastic about the Fever's progress, especially since he stands to gain $10 million if they win the championship, having bet on them when their odds were 100-1.
And some girls like, you're so pretty. It was so... Molly! I missed you! You're gonna be amazing. Because you are amazing.
In a self-recorded video during the game, Portnoy exclaimed, "This Seattle team is 17-9, and we're blowing them out. Up by 20, this is a blowout." He continued, "I hope you jumped in the $10 million, man. What's the score, Dave? 87-71. Let's see what the odds are now for the Indiana Fever to win the championship." As of Monday, DraftKings had the Fever's championship odds at 35-1, while the New York Liberty, 23-4, and the Las Vegas Aces, 17-9, are leading the favorites. The Fever have secured victories in their last 2 games and are set to face the Minnesota Lynx and Atlanta Dream on August 24th and 26th, respectively. Currently, they are positioned 7th overall and 3rd in the Eastern Conference. Reflecting on the incident, Clark acknowledged, "I think I could have handled my emotions better, but that fire and passion drive me. It's about channeling that energy, and I believe I did well at the end of the third quarter and the start of the fourth." This season, Clark has accumulated 5 technical fouls, putting her just 2 away from an automatic 1-game suspension. Caitlin Clark made her return to the court, but she found herself winded early in the game after a break from basketball. Since last November, she had been playing continuously, starting her final college year at Iowa, getting drafted, and then diving into her WNBA career. Not being part of the Olympic team allowed her to take a much-needed rest, but it also disrupted her rhythm, causing her to feel fatigued just minutes into the game. After the Indiana Fever's 98-89 victory over the Phoenix Mercury, she shared her experience with reporters. "I asked for a sub 6 minutes in, if I'm being honest," Clark admitted with a chuckle. "I was like, wow, I think it was around 7 minutes in. I needed a quick minute here." Reflecting on the pace of play, she added, "We were moving fast and my defense wasn't up to par. That's a liability for my team. I just needed a moment to catch my breath." Despite feeling tired at the start, Clark noted that getting back into game shape had been relatively smooth. Getting back in game shape has been pretty easy, she explained. We've been working hard in practice and playing against our guys. We've had refs come in and I think we've scrimmaged live about 5 times. She emphasized that playing live basketball is the best way to stay in shape, even though nothing can truly replicate the intensity of a real game.
Well, Teacha's been a big fan of mine ever since I was in college, and somebody that has always been right there to congratulate me or just be somebody that's offered advice. So to pass somebody like her, I'm just forever thankful that she's been such a legend in our game. But it's super cool, but hopefully there's a lot more of those.
It felt great to be back out there, she said, in front of her home crowd at Gainbridge Fieldhouse. Clark delivered an impressive performance, scoring 29 points and providing 10 assists. She shot 8 of 16 from the field and hit 4 of 11 from three-point range.
I think just staying confident and staying aggressive, that's what I tell myself, but I thought they played really good defense to start on us, and then when we kind of got into a flow and played a little bit more in transition, we were a lot more successful, and then obviously Lex was amazing. I don't know if we missed a shot in the fourth quarter.
Caitlin's been on a tear lately. She just schooled the Seattle Storm the other day. The Fever, Kelsey Mitchell, Lexi Hull, she's been cooking them all. The Seattle Storm just got a serious wake-up call from the Fever, and after that game, I was left wondering, are the Fever actually on their way to the WNBA Finals? Looking at the competition, especially with Caitlin Clark and the Fever, I think they could take down almost anyone. Well, except for the Aces, who are pretty loaded. But let's be honest, the Aces didn't face this version of Caitlin Clark earlier in the season. They caught the Fever during a tough stretch in their schedule. It's going to be interesting to see how this all plays out. On another note, I believe Reeve, Dawn Staley, and Gino Auriemma, the Olympic WNBA team, deliberately left Caitlin Clark off the roster. She deserved a spot over Chelsea Gray or Diana Taurasi, especially with the numbers backing me up during the Olympics. Cheryl Reeve seems to have her own agenda and hasn't been very kind to Caitlin Clark. It looks like she wasn't a fan of Angel Reese either. Rejected.
Indiana's not a team that's hung their hat on their defense to this point. This announcement has not been made by USA Basketball, so it'd be premature for me to have any conversations about any player or anything.
Not putting Caitlin Clark on the U.S. women's basketball team is one of the biggest failures of basic business.
This has led to speculation that having Clark and Reese on the roster could have significantly boosted attendance. Despite the concerns about attendance at some international games, the WNBA has experienced a remarkable surge in viewership and attendance this season, largely attributed to Clark's influence.
We thought Ionescu was going to do it. We've seen Swoops and Candace Parker and Cynthia Cooper and others and Lisa Leslie. You know, we've seen so many great female players. Della Don and all of them. They've been fantastic. But I have not seen anyone in women's basketball that's more marketable than what's coming. I didn't say what's here.
The WNBA All-Star Game saw a record-breaking 3.4 million viewers, tripling the numbers from the previous year. Additionally, the Indiana Fever, Clark's team, has been a standout, with over 16,000 fans attending their games on average.
Yeah, it was great. Honestly, it was a lot of fun. I thought we came in here and we competed hard. That was the thing. Like, we knew they were going to want to win, so we came out with the same mindset of wanting to win. I think we were down 2 at halftime, and I thought we started the third quarter really strong, and that's what kind of set the tone for that whole second half. And then never hurts when Enrique gets really hot like that. It's just kind of like give her the ball and let her do her thing. And that's probably the main reason we won was because of her. So
this is a stark contrast to previous seasons, where attendance figures were much lower. Clark's impact is undeniable. She has been a catalyst for increased interest in the league. The WNBA has reported that 14 of the 16 most watched games this season involved the Fever, and the league has set multiple viewership records across various networks. For instance, the Fever's game against the Chicago Sky attracted 2.25 million viewers, marking the highest viewership for a WNBA game in over 2 decades.
Fans filed in from the rain, whether they were season ticket holders.
They're fun to watch. You'll have a good time if you come and watch them.
Or they made the trip up from the Metro.
We love watching Caitlin Clark, and she's really fun, and all the players on the team are really fun to watch, and we really enjoy watching them.
This surge is not just a flash in the pan. It reflects a broader trend of growing interest in women's basketball, driven by the excitement surrounding new talent like Clark and Reese.
I was those little girls. I was always begging my dad to take me to basketball games, college basketball games.
no matter what it was, really. I always wanted to be around the game.
Clark continues to rack up stats on the court, which will make her a record breaker.
The WNBA's current marketing strategies have also capitalized on this momentum, with the league broadcasting a significant number of games nationally and promoting its star players. The league's chief growth officer acknowledged the Caitlin Clark effect.
The sport of basketball, and what she's done for women's sports, period, it's amazing.
The WNBA, the professional league, is it's growing amazing. Like, I just can't believe they're selling out, and I love it. It's awesome.
Go Fever, let's go! Triple-double, first rookie!
Noting that her presence has opened the door to new fans and increased average viewership numbers. This renewed interest has led to a substantial increase in merchandise sales, further highlighting the economic impact of star players on the league. Stephen A. Smith was totally right about Brittany Griner getting snubbed. Everyone's talking about it, the WNBA and the people picking the team are super close, and even the boss, Adam Silver, wasn't happy. Someone on the committee for the 2028 Olympics said it was a big mistake to leave her off. It's hard to believe it's anything else but jealousy from Asia Wilson, Diana Taurasi, and Cheryl Reeve. Seth Greenberg, that ESPN guy who used to coach college ball, says he hasn't watched a single second of women's basketball. Can you imagine? He's a total basketball nerd too. He only said he might have tuned in if Caitlin Clark was playing. He was on this show, Don't At Me, and said he was watching the Olympics and saw this tiny player guarding someone way taller. He's like, boring. No disrespect, but he thinks gymnastics and beach volleyball are way more exciting. He's all about seeing Caitlin Clark do her crazy passes and long threes. Smith's comments about Clark's exclusion from the Team USA roster for the 2024 Olympics have sparked significant debate.
Because it compromises what your ultimate goal is, which is to elevate the WNBA brand. How can you be that idiot? I'm not talking about y'all. I'm talking about Team USA. How could you be that idiotic and not make that call when throughout history, Team USA has been in part about marketing? It's dumb.
He emphasized that Clark's ability to draw attention to the team and elevate the WNBA brand should have guaranteed her a spot. This is about what I will personally label the idiocy of Team USA women's basketball, Smith stated, criticizing the decision makers for not recognizing Clark's marketability and talent. He argued that Clark's presence on the team would not only enhance the competition, but also attract more viewers, further promoting women's basketball on a global scale.
Battery, I think everybody feels it. Like I said, it feels electric, like something big is going to happen.
How long was your drive?
7 hours.
7 hours. Was it worth it?
Yeah.
I've been enjoying watching Fever basketball since Tamika catches, so just to have this up war again.
Clark, who recently became the first overall pick in the 2024 WNBA draft, has quickly established herself as a generational talent.
One of the most fun parts of this whole ride with the Hawkeyes right now in Caitlin Clark mania is seeing these swarms of kids waiting for autographs after games and then just seeing their reactions when they get a picture with her or they get something signed. You might remember this scene from Monday's Elite 8 postgame in Albany. We had it live here on CBS 2 and Fox 28. That girl getting her shoes signed by Caitlin, and that's the appropriate reaction. Not just Micaiah McCann, 15-year-old from the Albany, New York area, got to go to both Iowa games out there. And then popular sites like Awful Announcing and Just Women's Sports.
Her remarkable performance at Iowa, where she shattered numerous scoring records, has made her a household name in sports.
On Saturday, I was like, there's no way I get her autograph. She's such a big deal. There's going to be people lined up down there. Like, it's insane. But on Monday, I was like determined. I was saying before the game, I'm going to get this autograph. It's going to happen. And everybody's like, I hope you do.
Despite the snub, Clark responded with grace, expressing support for the players selected and stating her motivation to make the team in 2020.